At dawn, the fence looked perfect. Thin slats, evenly spaced, freshly painted, clean lines cutting across the farmer's field like a promise. Neighbours slowed as they passed, nodding with approval. It looked modern, efficient, enough. The farmer stood with his hands on his hips, breathing in the smell of wet soil and morning hay. He told himself strength didn't need to be ugly. That thickness was wasteful. That neatness meant control. The field was quiet at first. Dew clung to the grass. Chickens pecked lazily. The fence held its posture, upright and polite, as if pressure were something that happened to other people. Then the wind arrived, not angry, not violent, just persistent. It leaned against the fence, testing gently, again and again, like fingers tapping a door. The fence trembled but stayed standing. The farmer smiled. See? Enough. By afternoon, the cattle grew restless. A distant thunder rolled across the hills, low and patient. The animals shifted, pressed closer together, their weight moving as one slow thought. They leaned, not to escape, just to steady themselves. The fence bowed. A soft creak ran down its length, like a warning whispered too late. One slat bent, another loosened, nails squealed. Still the fence held, until it didn't. With a sharp crack, the line broke open. Wood snapped. Paint flaked. The fence folded like paper under a hand that never meant to crush it. The cattle spilled forward in confusion, hooves tearing into crops the farmer had tended for months. Wheat flattened, soil scattered. Order dissolved into motion. The farmer ran. He shouted. He waved. His boots sank into mud as he tried to push animals back through a boundary that no longer existed. Rain began to fall, thin at first, then heavy, turning his careful work into a blur of loss and noise. When it was over, evening settled quietly, almost kindly. The field lay broken. The fence lay scattered. The farmer stood alone, rain dripping from his sleeves, staring at the space where confidence had once stood straight and narrow. He knelt and picked up a slat. It was light in his hands. Too light. He thought of all the moments he'd chosen appearance over resilience. How often he'd told himself this will do when what he meant was this is easier. How many times he'd trusted thin lines to hold back heavy truths. The next morning, he rebuilt. Not pretty. Not fast. Thick posts driven deep into the earth, rough wood, solid weight. When the wind returned, the fence didn't flinch. When the cattle leaned, it answered with quiet resistance. And the farmer finally understood. What protects you doesn't need to impress anyone. It just needs to hold when pressure comes. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.